Hey, Lake Travis teachers. This video about the scope and sequence is going to point out some important aspects of it that will be helpful for your planning. You have already learned how to navigate it. Whenever you're getting ready to plan at the beginning of the year, we're going to focus on the first 2 weeks of community building, so no real content is being introduced here. You will click resources and go down to the bookmark, and it's on the very next page, which makes it nice and easy. This gives you our little blurb about what we're expecting the first 8 days, and then all of these resources are for you to start planning. They include videos that might be helpful, videos that we've made that you can use or recreate, different activities for your kids like scavenger hunts, different things for parents to use. It gives you an idea of what you can incorporate if you want to use from this or make your own. It's kind of a brain dump of ideas. Something else that is new is we've included your second step over here. Now, for second step, it's a little different with the beginning of online learning. So there are some resources for you here. You'll see that weeks 1 through 3 are just focused on community building, and second step has released a remote class meeting guide to give you some ideas. So you'll find those here. Week 4, that's supposed to be the first week of in-person instruction. We're going to begin by doing the community rebuilding unit. That is a new unit that second step will be releasing on August 17th. We will have a week to do that with your kids. And then week 5 and beyond, you'll actually start using your second step kit. So you'll start with the very first lesson that week. Okay, some other things that I would like to point out are about your process cheeks. So across here for every subject area, whenever you click, it'll take you to how to navigate some of the resources we have. It'll have your TEKS and your lead forward guides, but right underneath, your process TEKS are listed first. Please remember that process TEKS are used for reference during planning and also need to be integrated during every lesson and every unit. These are all year long. Do not forget about them. They're not always explicitly taught, but they do need to be included. There are some key phrases in process TEKS that you might not be aware of. When you see including, that means that the next thing that they list, you must teach. So the student is expected to gather information, including historical and current events, That means they absolutely have to learn how to gather those kinds of information. But sometimes it uses the phrase such as, and that is more suggestive. So students are expected to create written and visual materials such as stories, pictures, maps, and graphic organizers. That is less of a you have to do this and more of here's an idea of how you could do it. So keep those in mind as you are going through the process TEKS. The last thing I would like to point out to you is the next thing I'd like to point out are our resources. So for example, if I'm teaching, science mixtures in week 7, I'm going to go to that bookmark, and they have done a few things for you. They've put your field guide page in here so you can find that resource. They've given you your key questions. They've told you which Science Fusion and STEM Scopes lesson lines up. They've even added at least one supplemental resource that you can use when teaching that lesson. There should be at least one for everything. Some teachers had time to add more. That leads me to the next point. What if you have a great video or a great resource that you use with your kids that you would like to be on here? For example, is there a brain pop on mixtures? So I'm not sure if there is. There is a place where you can send us your resources and we can add them in. Let me show you where that is. At the very top, you'll see here it says, do you have a resource that other teachers could benefit from? Or do you want to make feedback to make this better? It's an all-in-one form. So you'll go to that form and it gives you a choice. Do you want to provide feedback on the scope and sequence, or do you want to submit a resource to embed? Or you can do both. I'm going to pretend I'm submitting a resource. And it takes me straight to here. So maybe I'm providing a resource for kindergarten, science. The concept that it goes with is plant life cycle. Do you know the TEAC? You might know it off the top of your head, you might not. The name of my resource is going to be Sunflower Life Cycle. And it's a fun video and song. And then I would paste that link here. Then it says, do you want to give feedback also? Nope, I'm done. And then you can submit that. Then later, the coaches will go through and pull those resources and embed them in here for all teachers to benefit from. If you also have feedback about the order, the pacing, the design, any of that, that can also be put in this form. It's a catch-all for both of those things. Enjoy planning with your new scope and sequences. And if you know a teacher who helped develop this summer, please give them a big thank you.